Dude, what are you doing? Have you seen today's date? No? Okay, that was a close one. Hi, I forgot to do a Halloween video. Happy late Halloween! It's November 1st. I forgot to do a Halloween video. I did not do anything for Halloween, as I normally do. I just watched horror movies, and speaking of horror movies, what did I say earlier this month?
Every day of October, I am going to be watching a horror film.
Oh.
The problem is I do not
Shut
know very well.
Right, okay. So, horror movies. That's very good. Let's get into it. Firstly, this is my ranking of them. But before I, rank them, I want to thank all these commenters. For example, this guy commented Saw. Saw is... Wait, where's Saw? Shit. This guy commented Shaun of the Dead. I'm not gonna lie, I was already gonna watch that. But that's always been number 3, so... And then this guy commented the Lego Movie. Thanks for playing along, man. Okay, let's get into it. This is my ranking of each film, by the way, just so you get it. 31st and last place, we've got Boo, A Medea's Halloween. It's a shit movie, that's why it's on the lowest. Next up, we have Brightburn. If you don't know what Brightburn is, it's a film that came out this year, and it's about, like, an evil version of Superman. If your film ends with the song Bad Guy by Billie Eilish, I will instantly go, no. The only thing I actually did like about this film was the gore, like the CGI on the gore. There's this bit where like a guy falls through like onto his car and it's like your jaw goes up into his mouth, and it's actually really impressive what they could do with CGI in that film. Next up we have Happy Death Day to You. This is not really a good sequel in my opinion, and explains stuff that happened in the first film, even though that's meant to be the first film's job. Next up we have Death Becomes Her. You've probably never heard this film, I never did either. It's a horror comedy about 2 women that find this like immortality potion and it makes them young forever and they can't die. The CG in this film, like the special effects and all that shit, is amazing, and that's why I kept on watching it. And I also kept on watching because Bruce Willis's character is really like entertaining. There's this bit where a girl like has a shotgun hole in her stomach, and obviously she doesn't in real life, but she's able to sit through a spear. How did they do that? We have Happy Death Day, the first one. Yeah, like I said, not been a big fan of any of these films. Next up we have Evil Dead. I did not expect this film to be this low on the list, but when I looked for every single one of these films, in my opinion, it needs to be on this list. I do actually have a poster of Evil Dead, but that's mainly because it was a very popular poster way back when. Evil Dead. It's a good movie. It's very original. That's what Stephen King says, because I'm reading the quote right now. We have Sweeney Todd, The Demon Barber of Fleet Street. A film that I did not expect to be watching this Halloween. This was actually meant to be Insidious. That was the film that I was meant to watch, Insidious. But instead I watched Sweeney Todd, Demon Barber of Fleet Street. What do I think about it? I think it's one of the most interesting musicals. Next up we have The Visit. This is M. Night Shyamalan's comeback film. If you don't know what M. Night Shyamalan is, he did Split, and Unbreakable, and The Sixth Sense, and The Happening. But The Visit, really good. Next up we have Scream. This is the pinnacle of horror movies. I like Scream as much as anybody that watches Scream. It's just that it's not one of my favourites. And another film that I did not expect to be watching. Sleepy Hollow. This is a film that I'd never seen before. Like, never seen before. This is actually a really good one, I would say. And I would highly recommend it. Number 19. Goosebumps. Another film that I did not expect. Shop. Literally made a sequel last year, and I want to go see the second one. Second one is so shit that I generally could not bear to watch it again. Next up, we got Annabelle Creation. This is a sequel to Annabelle. But yeah, Annabelle Creation, probably one of like the good Conjuring movies. We have Hereditary. This is one of the scariest films ever, but it does drag on for a bit. Hereditary is just kind of like, you know, probably the scariest film I've maybe ever seen. Next up, we got It Chapter 2. Okay, I'm about to rant right now, so give me a minute. It Chapter 2 is 2 hours and 45 minutes long, and it feels like 2 hours and 45 minutes long. What? Only very few things that save this film. Number one, Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise. He's really good, as always. Then got number two, Bill Hader. Bill Hader, although is a bit biased for me because he is one of my favourite comedians, but he's what makes this film funny. Number three, James McAvoy. He is really badass in this film, and I do love me some good old badass heroes and shit. And then you got number four, Jessica Chastain as, you know, Bev, early. Literally, there's so many things that do not need to be in this film. One of those things is Henry Bowers. Like, you could take him out of this film and he does not change a single thing. Next up we have The Babadook. This film's like Hereditary, even though I feel like Hereditary did this better with the message. I think this is just a better film overall. Okay, I've dedicated this small part of the video to talk about a film that I saw in mid-October in the cinemas. You probably have guessed what it is. Adam's Family. No, I'm talking about Joker. Now I know what you're thinking, but Zach, we've like heard everything about Joker, there's nothing more to talk about. And you're right, yeah. And Joker is the best film of the year. Like, it's not the biggest, but it's the best. It's a phenomenal film, and it's the best film that I've seen in the last 3 years. Actually, no, it's one of the best. One of the best films that I've seen in the last 5 years. It's up there with Get Out and all of those types of movies. Like, if you've not seen Joker, go watch Joker. Okay, next up, this is the end. I know this film's not really a horror, but screw you, I'm calling it a horror. I love This Is the End. And the Blu-ray is top notch. Okay, time for Saw. Thank you, dude, by the way, because this is one of my favourite films I've seen this month. So, Saw, what do I think? Saw is a great film, in my opinion, but it's not one of my favourites of horror films. I just think it's a great, like, normal film, like, just a great film. One of my favourite ideas of this film is the reverse bear trap, you know, like, it's the thing that the girl has on her head and it, like, would snap her jaw, like, off, like, it's hard to explain. I have a film that I'd never heard of. Actually, no, it's a lie. I did hear of it, I just didn't go see it. Ghost Stories. This is a great film, and it's on Netflix. Oh shit, no wait. It's not Ghost Stories, it's Ghostbuster. Now we have Ghost Stories. An actual horror film that I would say is probably... It's a film that made me really scared. Because I was in my house by myself when I was watching this. Get into the next film. Army of Darkness. I'm gonna try and like run through these last ones, and I'm gonna run through these because I don't want this video to be long. Also, I think I'm running out of storage. We have Trick or Treat. Trick or Treat's the perfect film to watch if you want to watch it on Halloween, because it's a Halloween film, but it's past Halloween, so you can't watch it until next Halloween. Good, got it, great. The Fly. Very disgusting film, made me actually feel sick when he was turning into that fly, and it's very disturbing, and it actually made me feel sick, which was weird, because not many films make me feel sick, because I make videos and I realise how fake they are. Lost Boys. Lost Boys is a film about vampires, my second favourite film about vampires. Two of my favourite characters are Nanook and the Grandad. Nanook is a dog, the Grandad is a Grandad. Next up, we got Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice is one of the greatest horror films ever made, and it's so funny because of Michael Keaton's performance as the character and the makeup. And I was meant to go as Beetlejuice at this Halloween if I ever did something, but I didn't do anything, so I had to not go as Beetlejuice. Okay, next, Babysitter. Go watch it on Netflix because it's a Netflix original. I don't know who's in it, but it's amazing, and it mixes horror and comedy perfectly together, and it's funny, and it's a very creative film in the way it's directed. Okay, good. Next, The Shining. The Shining. the pinnacle horror films of all time. It's the most talked about horror film of all time. It's probably the greatest horror film of all time. Not in my opinion, no, because I think The Shining is just great. Next up, we got What We Do in the Shadows, a mockumentary about vampires, and it's hilarious. And there's still jokes that I think about today that I, found funny. Shit, we're running out of time. Get Out. Get Out's one of the best horror films of the last 5 years, and it beats everything, and it's amazing and so good because it's got a deep message that gets deeper and deeper. Shaun of the Dead. Shaun of the Dead. Thanks, bro. This film is a film that I was already going to watch, but then guess what? This guy commented it, so thanks. I forgot who it was though, so I'm so sorry because I've not checked the comments in a while, but I've written them down and I don't know who did it, so shout out to this guy. Cabin in the Woods. Cabin in the Woods is a pinnacle horror film that goes deep, almost as deep as Get Out, but it also makes fun of other horror films, such as Evil Dead and all that. So that's why I really like Cabin in the Woods. It's also hilarious and it also mixes horror and comedy together very well. Next up, my favourite horror film of all time is Evil Dead 2. Evil Dead 2 mixes horror and comedy perfectly together. It's a great action film as well, and it has some of the best dialogue ever. And I've done it. I actually almost